Welcome back to the podcast, you guys. It's Punch Drunk Nerd, the podcast where three friends, three bambinos, three amigos come together to talk about nerd shit. I'm your host tonight, for now, Miguel Sanchez, and joined by
Ed Bull.
And later, Luis, he'll be joining us. He's just running a little bit late tonight. And you know what? Like, maybe I biffed that intro a little bit here and there, but like, hey, it was off the cuff. You know,
having fun with it.
You know, Luis is he's the pro.
I'm not complaining. I'm not.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well, you guys of course, you guys know the drill. We're going to talk about news. We're going to talk about some trailers, which is actually just trailers. News
Mostly
and trailers are just trailers today. This is our third or fourth consecutive week where we don't really have a feature discussion, but I think Ed's got something planned. So we'll wait to see if Luis makes it in time. And then, of course, we're going to get into what we're into. I have no idea what Ed and Luis are into because they just wrote a bunch of jokes in here. So we'll see.
We like to do that around here. We put jokes in what we've been into. Sometimes it's crude. Sometimes it's punny.
But I tell you, the 1 week where Miguel actually has more than one thing, you know, then it's like you guys are just like off the charts. Okay. We're going to talk about the Minecraft movie. It just came out. And of course, the season finale of White Lotus. I'm going to be talking about those things. And I have thoughts. I have thoughts that are not just like, it was great, you know?
No, I'm glad you have thoughts. I plan on watching it, of course. I'm just waiting for the little buzz.
That's what's so tricky is you and Luis haven't watched it yet. And of course, like some of our podcast listeners might not, and we'll spoil shit when we all watch it anyway. You know, we love to spoil shit. But it's hard when you guys haven't watched it because it's like, well, you know, I don't want to spoil it if you're gonna watch it. But I have to like give legitimate feedback as well. So we'll see how it goes when we get there. We're just chatting.
We're just chatting.
We're hanging out. You guys, the summer is around the corner. You know what I mean? Spring, we're in spring right now. Summer's going to be here soon. We're going to have more of those big blockbuster hits to talk about for future discussions. So right now we're just kind of like in our chill city vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we're not going to have a big thing every week, but I think we could have. If we had all decided to go see Minecraft. But
you know, it's been a dramatic week.
I know. But that's also kind of in hindsight. I had no idea going into Minecraft the way I was going to feel.
You were going to come out of it?
Yeah.
I think it's fair to say that
no
we
one
all did. Yeah, exactly.
No. I had such low expectations for that movie. I was going for my son. So when we get to that, you'll be, I think, surprised to hear some of my thoughts on it. But I tell you what, Ed, you put this doc together. I don't know why you're letting me host. So let's talk about some of the news. You guys, CinemaCon. First off, I do for our podcast when we should. I just do not keep up with all these cons, Ed. Like,
it's too many now.
And I mean, there were times. You remember when it used to just be Comic-Con, and it would just be like the one thing. But now it's like Comic-Con Miami. It's obviously in San Diego, and now it might be in like Vegas, and then they might have one in Atlanta. And you're like, this is blown up bigger than what I thought. And then now all these other side-off cons. You know what I mean? It's like I didn't even realize
studios doing their own. Yeah.
So it's a lot to keep up with, and I was glad that someone else was. I caught a couple of the trailers and big announcements, but why don't we get into it? There's kind of a big one, the first one we should talk about, and I'm curious.
Kind of a big one that I kind of
forgot about.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Were you going to say forgot about?
Yeah, well, kind of,
right? Yo, and you know what?
Yeah.
We looked up the trailer for Tron. What was it? Legacy? Is that what it was called? Tron 2. Remember that one that came out?
Ares.
Oh, no, I know. I'm talking about the one that came out. The quote unquote sequel. Yeah. The one with Gareth Evans in it. Okay. We looked that up on YouTube. It's like that trailer is 15 years old. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh my God, that much time has passed since a Tron movie came out. That's insane.
And here we are.
Here we are.
And people don't really talk about that one, do they?
In some circles, but yeah, it's not the critical hit,
right?
It's not Avatar. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
true. Even Avatar pushed one out before Tron did. You know,
exactly, and actually made money to prove it. So, okay,
we got a trailer.
We got a trailer. Out of nowhere, Tron Ares.
Hit us.
Directed by somebody I'm not familiar with. But it stars Greta Lee, Gillian Anderson, or is it Gillian Anderson? Gillian Anderson. Evan Peters, Jared Leto, and of course Jeff Bridges is back. Yeah,
with music by
Daft Punk.
No.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, Ed,
I missed it.
It's 9 Inch Nails. 9 Inch Nails is doing the music in this one.
Cool.
Okay?
Yeah, because Daft Punk obviously did it for Legacy, and so I thought that'd lead up you.
No, this is them. This is them capitalizing off of that success. Though they're like, we need another like kind of big
techno,
band, but
electro.
that can fit that vibe, you know.
Yeah.
So that's what we got going.
Well, they're clearly going for that same feel, aesthetic. Yeah.
Better graphics. You know, one of the biggest complaints was Jeff Bridges was the younger version of himself in Tron Legacy.
That was a big thing, right?
And the graphics were pretty bad. And nowadays, and we've talked about this before with Marvel, is you can kind of like convincingly de-age an actor now.
Almost.
I said kind of. Okay.
Fair enough.
And so it's like, okay, maybe if they do it again, we'll see. Because we did hear Jeff Bridges' voice in the trailer, but I don't think we saw him.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly. I tell you, the jump scare for me was Jared Leto. I was like, oh, I forgot. I forgot you were in this.
Not that bad.
I don't know. I don't love Jared Leto.
But here's the thing. As far as Jared Leto goes, it's just more of like, I don't care if this movie wins or loses in a way. Like, I'm not like rooting for it necessarily. I don't need it.
Yeah.
I'm not like cheering for this to happen. So like, I could give a fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It could be good. It could not be
good. Like, yes, visually, I think there's like a strong appeal for Tron, but they definitely need to find a good story.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
that was, I think, Tron Legacy's problem. I just remember it feeling a little hollow.
Sure.
Not very interesting. You weren't very invested in the characters. Even the CGI wasn't like the worst thing coming from it. You know what I mean?
Especially 15 years ago, Ed.
15 years ago. I can't believe it. I mean, think of how many times Marvel has...
Yeah.
I almost said euthanized, but that sounds weird. Not my intention. But you get, just giving them the young makeover. But
yeah, we call that de-aging in the industry.
De-aging, that's the word.
But I think let's go ahead and call it euthanizing.
Euthanizing.
That's a lot better.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to feel. Like, yes, visually looks cool, music cool, but like, really, this is going to be one of those movies I need to, once it's out, let's see. I may not even see it. I'm going to see.
You want to take the temperature. You want to see what people are saying. I get that.
That's how little I really care about it. Honestly.
No, that's fair. No one actually, I don't think anyone on Earth pegged Ed Ball to be like the Tron fan.
The Tron fan.
Yeah. Even Disney was like, Ed, don't worry about it. It's fine. We got
it's up for you.
That's fine. Miguel will probably see it. It's fine. What do you think about this whole them coming into the real world thing?
I thought that was interesting. It also made me, because they're not like showing off the world of Tron. It's much more limited of what they're showing you. Really, yeah. I mean, they have some big like money shots, but overall, the trailer's pretty contained.
You know what kind of surprised me? This is just like anecdotally in our house is we watched the trailer and then we went and we watched the Tron Legacy trailer.
Right.
And Kristen was very she just kind of had a strong opinion right away. She was like, that second one looks bad and this one looks way better. This one
Legacy?
looks way yeah. And she said this Ares one looks much more interesting. She's like, right away, like the red looks cooler than the blue.
Yes.
Like the two colors are kind of featured in those movies.
Right.
And I was kind of surprised that she was like, but kind of like you, she was like, but I mean, I don't care about Tron. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
But she had some thoughts right away. Yeah, I don't know. I don't love Jared Leto, but I don't think it's like a make or break for me.
He's obviously a capable actor. It just depends on the project he's in. You know what I mean?
There's been so many artists, and I'm talking about music, film, television, whatever, over our lifetime that has like come into scandal or whatever. And the phrase is like, you got to separate the art from the artist. you know? Yeah. And I felt like when I was younger, I had a harder time doing that because I was like, no, it's just like they're one and the same. Like, you know, how can you?
Sure.
Now I try to be a little bit better about that. Like, okay, you know, I don't have any examples off the top of my head, but it's just kind of like I don't love Jared Leto for like the life he's leading. Oh, The Flash. Yeah, let me talk about The Flash for a second. Like Luis and I kind of liked that movie.
Right.
And yeah, Ezra Miller is not a great, you know, they're not having a great time right now. And so I was able to kind of look past that.
Disassociate.
The two. So I'm hoping for this, you know what I mean? I mean, I don't even think I saw Morbius as a joke, you know? I might have seen like 10 minutes of it.
Which for you is weird. Like, I'm surprised.
Yeah, because I love just, a trash movie.
Crack a beer and just be like, I'm about to shit all over this thing.
Let me nuke my leftover Buffalo Wild Wings and then let me throw on
Maybe we'll save that one for a rainy day.
Well, there you go. We'll see how it goes. Tron Ares. When is it coming out, Ed?
That's a good question, Miguel. I had it pulled up. Uno momento. Uno momentous. October 10th of this year. Yeah, not for
little
me.
Birthday treat for you.
Yeah, I might be busy.
We'll 5 days after your birthday? Come on.
Yeah, I party all week.
That's the weekend after.
The weekend after.
You wouldn't dare.
A good horror movie. The weekend after. Yeah, so there it is, Tron Ares. Miguel, there was another movie that perhaps all three of us are a little more excited to see.
I'd like to think
and
so.
I think it's perfect because Luis isn't here, and I think he wouldn't have watched this.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it is like a full clip from the upcoming Superman.
Yeah.
And I say it's a long clip. I was surprised at how long it kept running. Let me see. I'm going to pull it up real quick.
I mean, it was plus like if you cut like the little trailer part at the end, which is all footage we've seen, it's got to be 2 to 3 minutes long.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, literally.
Which
3.5 minutes.
3.5 minutes. That's a long time. And can I tell you, before we get into it, can I tell you what's even crazier?
Yeah.
Is so they aired it on aired it. It came out on the internet, right? Whatever day that was. It came out at CinemaCon or whatever.
Right.
And it was like, oh, a clip. Like, that's kind of fun. And they expanded on something we'd seen, but it didn't feel like too revealy, too spoilery or anything like that.
No.
Maybe you feel differently. But what blew my mind is they fucking played it in front of Minecraft. And the Superman, the whole clip, dude.
Whoa.
And it wasn't even, I'm pretty sure they played a trailer after it too, not the Superman, a whole nother trailer, and it was like weirdly placed in my screening.
Weird.
And I just remember thinking the boy got so excited. He smacked me on my shoulder and like grabbed my arm when he crash lands on the Arctic or whatever.
Yeah.
And I thought the trailer was about to play, and I was like, fuck yeah, this is such a good trailer. And the Jurassic Park trailer had just played, and he got scared at that. And so I was like, oh, he's excited about Superman. Like, let's see the trailer that'll kind of like erase his, feeling right now.
Yeah.
But then it went into the whole clip, and I was just blown away that we were seeing it before this movie. It just kind of felt misplaced. I would have rather seen the trailer.
The trailer would have been, yeah.
I tell you what, though, watching it again and watching it on the big screen, guys, I'm still hyped for this movie. And the fact that they play the trailer at the end of the clip too, like all the best moments from the trailer,
I was going to say,
I'm into it.
So I think going into it, my initial thought was like, this feels long, and I am afraid of spoilers.
You don't like that dog.
I do want to. No, I'm just like on the fence about the dog. Like that wasn't my first impulse. It was more of just like, I don't know how much of this I want to watch because
what are they about to give away?
Exactly, and I'm rooting for this movie. Like I want it to be good, but I don't want it to put off my chances taking something out of context. But I'm just going to be like, this movie's not going to be what I want it to be.
Yeah, what if this is like the one little taste and you're like, oh, that's not what I wanted.
Exactly. And then between now and the movie's release,
all you're going to be thinking about. Yeah.
Exactly.
I'll let you explain it. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. No. I mean, but overall, I felt closer to the dog. You can pick up on the tone and the kind of world that they're trying to set up for Superman. We get an introduction into these droids or robots from, I assume, Krypton, who stay at the
what's it
Palace
called?
of Solitude? Fortress of Solitude.
There you go, baby. Hell yeah, dude.
Not a palace.
You're such a queen sometimes, dude. The palace, darling.
The Palace of Solitude. Yeah, so that was interesting. Is that Alan Tudyk as the robot?
Bro, nice. He's basically just like, James Gunn was like, do you want a paycheck? And he's like, fuck yes.
Yeah.
Fuck yes.
I dance.
It's me,
I dance
Alan
around.
Tudyk.
Alan Tudyk. Man, I love Alan Tudyk.
I know. He can do no wrong. Everyone
honestly,
knows this.
I know. Give him more roles, everybody, if anything. But that was exciting. And then, that gives a little bit of context to a moment in a trailer.
Yeah. Say it.
Later on, where Superman is holding the hand of a dying droid.
Oh, and it's so that you could go either way. It's either gonna be Alan Tudyk, right, which is most likely, or it's gonna be the female robot that number 12 or whatever that he meets while he's being carried in to the thing.
Yeah,
but I feel like it's gonna be him that dies, and then she's gonna take over the robot role for him.
Yeah.
But I thought you were gonna mention. So everyone knows Superman, when he needs to heal, he flies up into the sun, right into space, and he soaks up the sun's rays. Very, very Superman characteristic. I loved this version of it where they were like, "Oh, it's not just take an aspirin. You got to take that 1,000 milligram aspirin." You know what I mean? And they do the magnifying glass to the sun, and so it's it's not just the sun's rays hitting him. It's this magnified version of the sun. It's ultra heal him.
Yeah.
Ed, do you know what I'm talking about? You don't seem like you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I'm just thinking about it because that did make me a little bit because
why
you were saying. Well, because my experience is super bad. Is he likes to fly up and soak up the sun?
Okay, tell me. Okay, so you didn't
leads,
Go ahead.
Well, yeah, it's just those moments are usually very reflective, cinematic. So if they're taking away that little bit of,
but let me ask you this:
I'm not saying there's a rule.
Are they taking it away?
Yeah.
Or is it just one, an interpretation of it, and two, it's when do we normally see Superman that beat up? That there's an interesting choice that's happening here. He's obviously struggling to breathe. You know what I mean? Do you remember
and even more so that this is
Superman,
the moment that James Gunn keeps showing.
Yeah. Oh yes, exactly. And it's what did that to him? Also, you know.
It also makes me wonder though if it's just a little throwaway setup to the character, and it's early on in the movie.
I think most of what we're seeing in these trailers is from the beginning of the film. Obviously the Lois Lane, he hugs him. The beam is in the background. That's the third act. That's the final battle, right? He's about to fly off into it, But I do feel like most of what we're seeing is very early in the film. I think the film is gonna probably open with this big battle. I think they are gonna skip the whole setting up the origin like a lot of superhero movies do nowadays, where it's we know Spider-Man got bit by the spider. We know Batman's parents die. Let's get to the meat and potatoes of it, and show us what's unique about this version of Superman.
Totally, absolutely. I'm getting that vibe, especially with just how many factors there are already set up that we know of. I feel for sure it's going to be just a hey, this is how things are, we're rolling kind of thing.
Get into it, jump on board. Yeah. I like this.
But overall, I'm digging it. I still find that ending, the trailered part of it, stirring.
In a good way.
They start chanting Superman, it gets stirring.
God, I loved the whole trailer. I wish you heard a little bit more of this. I guess they did. They did a different take on the Superman in this version of the trailer.
Yeah.
You heard a little bit more of from the people, not just the kid. But when the kid in that first trailer, when that kid says it, it just breaks my heart every time. I'm just kid. he has so much hope that he's going to hear him, you know? Oh, fuck.
Yeah,
no,
it stirs in you. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
and
I like it a lot.
And the imagery that they're using to, like, the flag and the crowd chanting, like, I can get behind that. So
I said it before also.
Dare I say it? I hope.
Oh. It is a very hopeful trailer. But I said this before, but I really love that final shot where he's about to go and she stops him. Lois Lane stops him by grabbing his arm, and then she gives him a big hug. And it's like, obviously we see them kiss at one point, and that's such a, obviously, like a movie thing to happen, like the two romantic leads. Of course they're going to kiss, but there was something about this embrace that is just like, it's so much more like,
reassuring.
I really want you to survive. Like, I really want you to live. And it's like, not because of this like romanticism. It's simply because, like, I think you're my person. You're like my soulmate, you know?
Ooh,
and I care about you. I know that maybe I'm reading too deep into it, but I just feel like
I agree. There is something a little bit more poignant than just
like an embrace,
like you say, the romantic kiss. Yes.
Yeah. Which is nothing wrong.
Yeah.
You know?
An embrace is so much more. No, it's so much more supportive on a general level.
I'm wishing you well. Yeah.
Exactly.
I want you to come back safe.
There, like, yes, there's something to, again, hope for, you know.
Yeah.
Without getting too, no, but I do feel like that's
going to be the theme.
Yeah.
Wow. You know what I mean? Let's break down movies more often, man. We could do this all the time. But I tell you what, that was CinemaCon. CinemaCon. Okay. CinemaCon. It's, sometimes like syllables, they just don't go together, you know, and you're like, I don't love that. But that was Tron Ares. That was Superman. You guys, I said we were talking about news that were basically just trailers, and now let's get into our next trailer talk is what I'm trying to say. But before we get there, Luis, you're on the podcast.
I'm here, baby. I finally made it. I fought through LA traffic hours and hours, and now I finally made it to the podcast. I almost did a car episode, but I said, no. I'm going to make it with this good mic. So here I am.
You know what? It's like, give the people what they want.
Yeah.
You know?
And they want good sound and audio.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. No, I get calls actually
and
whenever you do a car one.
Yeah, Ed, give us some of your dulcet tones real quick on that mic.
Tap, tap, tap.
And we're peaking on you.
So that was, we were talking news. It was all trailers, but fuck it. We wanted to talk more. So we're going to talk trailer talk. Okay. Ed, you put some trailers in here.
I did. And I want to, for our audience, I want to just say, I'm the document is always open for you guys to add what you want. It was a sparse week on any other front other than movies. Because, CinemaCon continued. So, there were naturally some trailers. So first up, we got our first look at our new Wes Anderson film.
You want to talk this one first?
Phoenician Scheme. Yeah.
Luis, just to give you just a little bit of context, because I'm going to get into it here in a second with Ed.
Okay, perfect.
Just a little bit of context is I had not watched these two trailers in the trailer talk before we recorded, but we had a quick moment, so I watched. I picked one.
Okay.
And I told Ed I wasn't going to tell him which one, but I did pick The Phoenician Scheme by Wes Anderson.
Oh, perfect.
Okay, and I know you guys, you're kind of the Wes Anderson, you're the Wes Andy boys.
We're the Wes Andy boys, absolutely.
You're the Wes Andy boys, like no other business. I know. So I would say this, I didn't watch the other one, so when we talk about this one, I've got thoughts, and I'm ready to get into it. So Ed, I'll let you intro it, but I just wanted to give Luis the context. I just watched this trailer.
Okay, well, guess what? It's a Wes Anderson movie. No surprises there. It looks like a Wes Anderson movie. I'm pulling up the cast as we speak.
Well, man, it's going to take about 20 minutes.
Hang on. You don't even have to tell me what the cast is. Let me just throw out some names.
Okay, go on.
Okay, this is a good game. Go ahead.
Okay, let's see. I'm assuming Scarlett Johansson's in this movie.
Yes.
Jason Schwartzman.
Bill Murray will somehow pop up. Edward Norton may come into play. And then it'll be some like rando. Like obviously Bruce Willis won't be there, but maybe now it's fucking
who
Bryan
would be good
Cranston.
For this? I think Bryan Cranston has been in it before.
He is in it, yes.
someone random, Kate Blanchett, all of a sudden coming out because she can. You know what I mean? I'm just like throwing out names.
She's been in a Wes Anderson movie.
Has she?
Yeah, Louise. Which one?
Rafe Fiennes.
Oh, wasn't she in Life Aquatic?
Yes.
I mean, she feels like she would fit the vibe.
Yeah.
They resurrected fucking Gene Hackman. It's
Lost.
Do you guys get the bit that I'm doing here? It's very Wes Anderson.
It's everybody. Everybody who's not in the Odyssey is over here in Wes Anderson.
I feel like, hold on a separate note, I feel like Dave Bautista could show up in a Wes Anderson film.
I would love that. Yeah,
he absolutely
I think that would work.
Some sort of pink pastel. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wearing some sort of salmon.
Yeah. Speaking very quietly,
Okay.
Oh, he's big. You know what I mean? But he's quiet.
There's the plot right now, as on IMDb, is literally this: the story of a family and a family business.
The story of a family and a family business? Is that it?
That's it. That's all that IMDb has.
This reminds me of when Barry had like episodes, and then in the description it just said like Pepsi Cola, and that was it. It would just say like two words to like not say anything about when that episode.
You know who did that shit that really irked me was Rick and Morty. Every time Rick and Morty would do like a synopsis of their episode, it would tell me fuck all about what was happening.
But it would be like in the voice of
vibe.
Rick, right? It was like,
oh no, or
geez.
Morty or whatever.
Oh geez, yeah.
Luis, Ed, did you guys both watch this trailer?
Yes.
Surely you did.
Yes.
I did not watch this trailer.
Because you're already on board, right?
That's the thing. I think so. Actually, per my own tradition with Wes Anderson films, I don't watch the trailers anymore. Now I just go to the films. I just sit down like Grand Budapest. I didn't see a trailer. Astrobot. What's it called?
Asteroid City.
Asteroid City. Didn't see that trailer. So I like to just go in fresh for a Wessie.
Just to real quick, like I know you're tired, but like you need to be on when the podcast is on.
What are you talking about?
Like,
I'm not on right now.
You need to say things right, okay? It's not Astrobot, okay?
Okay.
It's Asteroid City. You talked about that movie so fucking much last year. Say it right, okay?
I did.
You think I haven't forgotten? No, Luis, let me just like I was doing a bit. Let me just do another bit.
Okay.
Have you seen a Wes Anderson movie?
No.
Have you seen any Wes Anderson movie ever?
Yeah.
You get the fucking vibe, okay?
That's also the thing. It's like I kind of get what I'm going to get.
Don't attack me, but I definitely turned the trailer off halfway through. I was like,
that makes sense.
I think
I get it. It's just it was nothing, absolutely nothing. But you know what I also felt when I was watching it? Is I just think, and I've said this before, but I just think Wes Anderson movies, they're just like not for me. Like his style is just like not my little, I don't love that morsel, because I can watch a Quentin Tarantino movie and it's like Quentin Tarantino also has fucking Tarantino-isms. Scorsese has Scorsese-isms. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Spielberg, James Cameron, like all of these directors that are established, they are going to make their movies,
Absolutely.
And I just feel like Wes Anderson is just like, I do not connect with his vibe in the same way that I do with others.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, oh, here we go. Another Wes Anderson movie. But how many movies have I seen that it's just like, well, here's another Tarantino. Here's another Scorsese. Here's another whatever. You know what I mean?
Well, it's like some people like mint chocolate and some don't. And Wes Anderson's the mint chocolate. Like,
exactly.
If you want that, you're going to get that. And if you don't like it, you're not going to eat it.
I turned the trailer off thinking, I'm going to talk so much shit about this. But then I was just like, no, actually, it's just not for me, and that's okay,
Yeah.
Okay. Well, as somebody who watched the whole trailer and enjoyed it.
Hang on, Ed. Give it a little beat. You know what I mean? Like, let it breathe for a quick second. All right. I didn't mean to offend.
I'm not offended.
Just saying.
I'm not offended. I knew why you didn't watch the Havoc trailer, and I know why you switched off.
No, I actually have no. I only picked the Phoenician because I thought, oh, it's Wes Anderson. The boys love Wes Andy. Let me give something to them.
Wesy Andy, yeah.
I don't even know what Havoc is. I can't wait to talk about that.
But you didn't watch it, right?
Ed, go ahead.
Okay, well, next up, hang on. What is the
finish your thought.
Wait, I forgot
what is your thought on Wes Anderson?
Okay, well, yeah, yes, it is just all Wes Anderson. I had a hard time keeping up with all the credits because there are so many fucking people that they're listing off now. But fun. It's got Benicio del. Wait.
Oh, that's right, Benicio del Toro.
Say it right.
Yeah, Benicio del Toro is the lead, I guess. And there's a nun who is pulling out a knife in every other scene that she's in, which is cracking me up. So I'm looking forward to it. Whatever. And if that's the only trailer I watch, I'm sure that's actually the only trailer that's going to come out. But I'm here for it. And that movie comes out June 6th.
Hey, a day after my birthday.
Hey,
a lot's happening. June 4th, June 5th, June 6th. Something is coming out June 4th as well. What is it?
You want to do it? It's the big fucking thing you're going to talk about right now?
What do you mean the biggest thing?
We're in trailer talk right now. You're going to talk about the...
I want to talk about my birthday for a second. Is that a problem?
Okay, Leo, I hear you.
June 4th. I don't know. Something's coming out June 4th, but June 5th is the Nintendo Switch comes out, and then June 6th is...
what is it?
The Phoenician Scheme. It'll come out.
I want to play a fun game real quick, okay?
Okay.
It's called What Wes Anderson character would you be? Okay. Now, I don't mean what a previously established character, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm asking you, like, if a Wes Anderson made a different new movie today, what role would you play? Okay, in that movie, does that make sense? What I'm asking? Because I feel like I would be the curious, like, inventor who's got like weird gadgets. Hell yeah,
standing
dude!
In front of stuff,
You're Willem Dafoe. Okay, good. Yeah, good to know. Okay. Hell yeah, dude. Okay,
I've got this thing that can bring rats to me in 2 seconds. You know what I mean? And then I push a button and then rats come, kind of situation.
Hell yeah! Your one shot in the trailer would be something kind of serious and then something kind of silly. Okay, got it.
I'm the neurotic chef who stays in the kitchen and just gets drunk.
Hell yeah!
Makes wonderful meals.
I love that. Your whole arc is in one location.
Exactly.
That's good. That's good.
That's great. I love that. and Miguel, you're Gene Hackman because you're like, I'm not gonna talk like everybody else in the Wes Anderson film.
Hell yeah, dude. You know what? Hell yeah, dude. No, I was gonna say I'm the guest star of this movie. Like I'm the one that's coming in for this one only.
Yeah. We talking like this? Not me.
Nah.
I'm gonna rock it.
I'll do my own fucking thing. Thank you.
Yeah.
Damn, we nailed that shit. That was like, really I can see it. I would watch that movie. Man, Ed, continue.
Yes. Havoc. We're moving on for Wes Anderson.
Yes.
To no surprise, my computer is doing weird stuff. So if I have a late reaction,
Ed, real quick, just try a shitty transition like Luis would do.
Yeah, try that.
Come up with one.
Okay. You put me on the spot. I'm not going to do it because I'm a little too
Wes Anderson.
I'm a little too Wes Anderson.
More like Wes.
Well, Wes Anderson's coming out. That movie's coming out June 6th. Speaking of white people, Tom Hardy's in another movie called Havoc.
Cool.
That's how you do it.
Yeah. That's how you do it. I'm going to mark that. That's a clip right there.
No, just fucking delete it all.
Speaking of white people, I just write that
down. Speaking of white people, Havoc is coming out to Netflix. Why am I taking over? Havoc is an action thriller. Comes out April 25th. Director Gareth Evans. He also directed The Raid.
Yes.
Movies. Is that correct?
Raid Redemption and The Raid 2.
Did you say Evans? Gareth Evans?
Yes.
Gareth Evans, not Gareth Edwards.
You're telling me there's two people running around this earth called Gareth?
There are two people running around this world with Del Toro that are famous.
That's true.
That's so true, actually.
It tripped me up when we said Benicio Del Toro. I was like, wait a second. Is that right?
Oh, I see what was happening. You thought you were going back and forth between Guillermo or Benicio?
Yes. I was like, am I mistaking their last names for something?
I thought he was like, what's that Mexican's name?
Well, first off, he's Puerto Rican, okay?
Sorry, my bad.
Anyway, so speaking of, no, I'm kidding. So Gareth Evans, he's here. He's a Welsh film director and screenwriter. There you go, Ed.
Welsh. There you go.
You're Welsh, right?
Gareth?
Gareth. Yeah. Okay. We're neighbors. We get along. We all get along. Yeah. I mean, based purely off of The Raid, I guess people are kind of buzzing about this film. It's got
not Ed though.
I'm a little excited. It's coming out on Netflix, so what do you got to lose? You know,
it's true.
But yeah, it looks okay. So here's the thing, though. You know, we're like in the height of like John Wick. You know, these stylized action films that are happening left and right now.
Yeah, we have Novocaine, Love Hurts, the ballerina movie. This one, we had that one where the Skarsgård was mute the whole time, and it had John H. Benjamin's voice.
Yeah, exactly.
What else did we have? I mean, that's just 5 right off the bat. You know,
you get the vibe. But you know, Gareth Evans did something, or you could argue that Gareth Evans, goddammit, started that kind of stylized action, like gritty fighting action sequences, and so I don't know. I'm excited to see what he does with this. You guys know me; I'm excited for a little Tom Hardy in my life. The trailer, a
little Hardy for a Hardy, you know.
Yeah, I feel. Yeah, I do. The trailer kind of chops up the action a little bit, but you could tell maybe that it might just play out better in the movie itself.
Did you see The Raid, Ed?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
I think you watched it too.
Yeah, I did, but I'm asking you. Did you like it?
Yeah, I did like it a lot.
What is it? What about the second one? Did you watch that one too? Did he do that one?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
he did.
Yeah. Okay, that's good to know.
I don't know if I did see the second one.
I just know there's like a cool fight scene in a car, like a. That's all I know. What, that tires you already? This came out in 2014, 2011. Like, this is something about.
It's so funny because I shit talked Tom Hardy earlier this week about that movie Lock. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where he's in the car the entire time, and there's something about like a static. I guess it's not static.
Well, hold on. Did you ever see The Phone Booth with Colin Farrell?
And you know what? I don't think I liked that movie either. Like,
for some reason, as a kid, I was like, "This whole movie's in a phone booth. This is cinema." And I remember like getting as like, I gotta watch this movie.
I just think like it's something about like, imagine how much of your day, like when are you actually stuck in a location besides work? Like, let's imagine you're at your desk or whatever. Like, that's one thing. But like, when are you ever like, oh fuck? Sorry, I
could do a movie of me driving in LA, like stuck in traffic, because that's straight up an hour and a half. Like, that's a movie. You know, God. It's just like.
Can I tell you something? I would not watch that movie. There's something that is not my genre, my cup of tea. But
no, it's like a podcast. It's like, you know, you listen to a podcast, they're in a car.
No, that's true. A podcast is like a location, but that's more audio. You know what I mean? Like, it's like what's visually happening on screen that merits this whole movie being
like
in a car.
Stage. It's like a theater play, but like in a car.
Well, but again, at the theater, you're there, you know, you're sitting in the audience and they're there in front of you.
Yeah.
And in fact, Ed would even tell you that he fucking hates watching plays.
What the hell?
Oh, who said that?
You, Ed, you.
I never.
Sorry. I'm getting off. I went on a little bit of a tangent there, but it's just like, I don't even remember what the original thought was.
Havoc coming on Netflix
sometime soon. I've got it pulled up. April 25th, we said.
April 25th. There
you said at the top.
Let's all say one mean thing about Tom Hardy before we end it.
You know, his accents have grown tiresome.
The way I've never seen Ed yes and a bit before ever in my life. And it's on Shit Talking Tom Hardy. I love it. Luis, go ahead.
Wow, his confused face, right? Like, you know what I mean?
Before he speaks.
Yeah.
Luis does so many things, but the thing that people don't talk about enough is his just impeccable impressions. Okay,
I can only do it on the spot for 2 seconds and then it fades away. It's like a shooting star.
How good you are at it! It just comes out. Venom was a bad movie. There you go. All right. Moving on. We all said something bad.
It was the best film franchise of the Sony Spider-Verse. It was like their golden ticket.
Do you guys remember when Craven came out and then they were like, just stop making these movies? You know,
that was like, dude, last year was the craziest year. There was Madame Web, there was Venom, and The Last Dance, and Craven. 3 Sony Spider films. That's just like insane.
And they said it's just not worth it anymore. All right.
Yeah, it was The Last Dance. You all right, Ed?
Yep. Just save my mic.
Hell yeah, brother.
Sorry about that, listeners.
Speaking of Havoc, let's talk about something that wreaked havoc on my tummy this week. Okay. Now that's how you do a segue. You know
I love it.
Guys, are we here? Ed, are you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. I felt the same way. Guys, something happened this week. Let's get to our feature discussion, which apparently is the feature discussion.
What else we got?
Guys, I did something this week that kind of set a group chat on fire, okay? Steven's not here, but Steven was a part of this group chat. All I thought was going to happen was I was going to quickly share my thought, kind of rag on Luis a little bit, and then we'd be done.
Yeah.
But we spent like 45 minutes of our lives talking about this.
And we were all busy at work. We were like, please stop. I have to keep working.
I was just dreading my boss walking in. Like, what are you doing? Like, I'm so sorry. I don't mean to be on my phone this much. But I had a couple days ago, I took a lunch break and I went to a good old classic McDonald's. I had a McDonald's lunch. You guys could get a good McDonald's lunch for damn near free. Okay, especially if you have rewards, it's so cheap.
Get the McDonald's app rewards. That's like
that's not a joke. This is like legit. Get the McDonald's app. If you're gonna eat McDonald's, get the app. Okay,
you're a damn fool if you're eating it without the app.
If you're like McDonald's is terrible, blah, 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 I understand. McDonald's is terrible. Don't eat it. You know what I mean? But if you're gonna get the app, get the rewards. And I was like, you know what? I have so many rewards. I got to spend them on something. And I hadn't had this before in my entire life. I knew some people in my life had it. I said, let me go ahead and try it. And I ordered me a McDonald's Filet-O-Fish sandwich. Okay. And a couple other things because I was like, I don't know if I'm going to like it, but I had like a backup. Okay. But I went to McDonald's. I picked it up. I went back. I sat in the parking lot. I opened up the box that it came in. It was like not even wrapped like a McChicken. It was like,
of course, it has its own special little box for it.
Hell, it's presentation, baby.
Yeah.
Okay?
When you buy an Apple product, you know what you're getting.
Hell yeah, you know what I mean?
Oh my God.
And I
like that
had to. I had to tell the people. I had to tell the people I had a Filet-O-Fish. And guys, my quick reaction was it was fucking terrible. I hated it. And good old Ed said, "Pause, baby."
Yes, and.
First off, look at that. Hang on. Jump on YouTube or Spotify video. Show the box one more time if you don't mind. I don't know about you. That graphic design wise, what a box. What a presentation.
That person got promoted or was promoted.
I love the blues on that box. That is a solid presentation. The Filet-O-Fish.
Yeah.
Just have like a little boat sailing.
This is blowing my mind because I had it hot and fresh out the kitchen. Mama rolling that body. Got every man in here wishing. And I just was like, no, this wasn't for me. Ed's had this Filet-O-Fish for how long, Ed?
Since before we started recording, but I had it warmed up in the oven up until now. So
I love it. I love it.
All right. So Ed, I'll let you intro this. Ed is for the first time. Ed?
A Filet-O-Fish. Never had it. So first reaction opening it, that is a tiny ass.
Shrinkflation has hit McDonald's, Ed. That is something that people have talked about.
What do you think about that bun, though? Before we get in, what do you think about that bun?
That bun. Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that curvature.
Ooh, look at that curve, baby. Doesn't it make you want to slap that bun a little bit? Like
the bottom side of the top bun.
Why don't you slap that bun?
Is that what you
slap it, baby? That's right.
Is that what you're fucking doing to your Filet-O-Fish?
When I open that baby up and it's glistening with grease, I'm gonna give it a little slap, a little eat. Slap and bite is what I call it.
Ooh, and now you bite.
Hey,
all right.
Okay,
here we go.
Sorry, go ahead, Ed. chew in the mic, please. Chew in the mic, please.
His mic is so budget friendly that it doesn't pick up. Okay, Ed is soaking it in.
He's
us
nodding
the bite. His head.
Show the bite to the camera.
How big is the bite?
To the camera, all the way to the camera.
Okay. That's an efficient bite.
Point it at the camera. It looks like a McChicken. All right.
Do you want to take another bite before you say what you're thinking?
I do, because I don't think I got a lot of the sauce.
You need the sauce.
You need the sauce. I'm getting that. Okay, I'm just gonna kind of squeeze it over this way.
Squeeze that sauce.
Oh my god!
Pat that bun and squeeze the sauce.
Dude. It definitely needs ketchup.
Miguel, you didn't finish the sandwich, right? That's what you said earlier?
I didn't even finish my sandwich. I took one bite. I knew immediately this was not for me. Before Ed, I know you're going to get into it. Just real quick, I will say this. I got it hot and fresh out the kitchen. Mama rolling that body like got a remaining motion. And it was a hot and fresh fish fillet. And then the tartar sauce, which should be cold, is what I think. A tartar sauce should be cold. No, Ed. And it was just, everything was
even
way
on a
too
hot sandwich. Like, that's your expectation? Like, when you bite into
that word? No, there should be a cold. It's a texture thing. It's a temperature thing. I think it should be cold. I think it should be everything cooked and then they slather it on. When I reheat, if I had to reheat a hamburger, imagine you had to do that, because that's what McDonald's is doing. If I had to reheat a hamburger, I would take off the tomatoes and the lettuce and all that first. I would do the meat and cheese and the bun in the microwave.
A hot tomato and lettuce.
Come on, you understand what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying?
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah, Ed, we want to hear it. No, guys, I thought it was the most disgusting thing ever.
But you had the tartar sauce and you ate it with the meat.
Yes.
Okay.
I would not put ketchup on it. I did think, for me, I thought the fish where I was, it was clearly, obviously, McDonald's is like pre-packaged whatever fish. They whatever.
See, me and Ed live on the coast, so we can get that fresh fish.
Fresh fucking caught off the fucking Gulf, yeah.
I was gonna say, it's so flaky. I mean, my God.
See, okay, Ed. Now you got to tell us what you thought about this.
Hang on, my texture was more like, imagine a hash brown that you heated up in the oven, and then you let it sit out all day, and then you were like, "Well, let me microwave it one more time before I eat it."
Okay, so you know what? You're challenging me to be like, "Let's try one when we meet up in Houston."
Fine, that's fine. We can. I would love to do it again. But go ahead. I talk shit, Ed. Let's hear your genuine official thoughts.
Genuinely, I thought it was going to be mushy, kind of like a standard fish sandwich, I guess. Too much bread, too much fish. It is very heavy on the bread, and that's probably just because it's been sitting for a while. You know, it's not fresh. So the bread's probably dried out a little bit. However, I was, I'm not like totally put off by it. The fish like holds. It's not all mush. It's like actually flaky, which is surprising. I was a little taken back by the cheese. I wasn't expecting that. I don't know why, but yeah, it definitely needs more sauce, more tartar sauce. Now, I am adding ketchup to it because ketchup with fried fish is normal.
You might have gotten a sandwich with not a lot of tartar sauce, because when I get it, sometimes that thing is flooded with tartar sauce. You're like, blah, blah, blah,
flooded. Oh my God.
And you're like, blah, 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 I mean, you're just eating all the tartar sauce.
It's a little feeble. See, like half of it right there is lacking.
Ed, would you do me a favor? Can you take in the camera, take the bread off and then show the fillet by itself? Take the bread off.
I hear you.
It's way more tartar sauce.
I need to balance it, Miguel. Chill out.
That's way more tartar sauce. That they did not
take the fillet off the whole piece.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Still a live one.
Eat a bite of the fillet. Can you eat a bite of the fillet by yourself?
I'm saying it's not bad. Like, on a rainy day, like every now and again, I'll get like a hot and spicy McChicken. Every now and again, I might get a Filet O'Fish.
I will say it looks like a spicy McChicken. It looks like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's fish.
Yeah. Genuinely, I have had a lot worse.
You look thirsty. Bingo.
Oh, I didn't get orange juice. Okay.
No, we didn't even get there, Ed. We didn't even get there. We were building to it.
I built to it. I jumped over the bridge, and we're here now.
My issue with everything that's being presented to me is I just
hell yeah, brother.
So hang on, Ed. Would you say you like it?
Yeah.
I want to take a half step back. You told us that someone in your life, a friend, family member, whatever, exclusively gets fish fillets at McDonald's.
Right.
If you had to go to McDonald's, I'm not talking every day of your life, but if every time you went to McDonald's, you only ordered one thing, do you think it would be the fish fillet?
No.
Why?
Because there are other things that I might prefer, probably, in general.
Like, what's better than a fish fillet?
A McDouble.
Come on, you guys. Even the other same price point, there's something else at McDonald's you can get that's tastier than a fish fillet.
Hot and spicy?
Hell yeah, dude.
I do like
you
a good... I do love a good hot and spicy, but, you know, for the... it's not the... Again, it's really... I've had a lot worse. You know what I mean? Like, there are some worse fish sandwiches out there.
There you go.
You know, a couple of weeks ago, I tried the Popeyes fish sandwich that they had.
Okay.
How was that?
That was actually really good.
Okay, there you go.
Cool.
Yeah. I mean, that was like genuinely fried. That was like
every episode we should eat a fish sandwich from a fast food restaurant. I can go eat the Popeyes one. I've never had it.
It's time to find the one.
Even here in Denver, like there are places where I'll go and I'll get fish and chips because it's like an easy lunch. You know what I mean, for work.
Yeah.
There's no world where I ever was like, let me get a fish fillet. My problem was it felt so thin. And I feel like I don't need the fish fillet to be like as big as a fucking filet mignon or a steak. But it should have like a, you know what I mean? Like
some girth.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's
all talk about girthy meat in our mouths.
We're in a time where everything is just shrunken in size.
And I've heard this
unfortunate thing.
I've heard this about the fish fillet this was my first one this week, but I have heard that in general over the years, it's gotten smaller. And
I believe it. I mean, look how big that box was compared to the sandwich. The sandwich is now gone.
They're like, we got to make a new box. We're making them smaller, you know?
I think it's something to say that I loved the box so much more than that sandwich. It was such a clean box. I would keep that box. You know what I mean?
Would you though?
What, 2 or 3 different blues? Come on now. I'd put it on my wall. What are you talking about? If I had a beach house, I'd put it right there. All right. Luis, we need to go ahead and get it out of the way.
Okay.
Ed, if you had to drink something with this fish fillet, what would you drink?
I said
now that you've tasted it, yeah. Let's hear before and after.
I still just want like a hearty beer, like a Guinness or a brown ale or something like that. You know what doesn't come to mind
is what the fuck Luis told us.
Exactly.
This is the real issue right here. If you like the fish fillet, you don't like the fish fillet, you know what I mean? Everyone's going to have their opinions on it. But I'd like to think we can all come together, Republican and Democrat alike. Luis, when you order the fish fillet and then they go in for your beverage and you go...
I don't do it all the time.
Luis, don't fucking lie.
Because sometimes it costs extra. That's the problem. Is that you have to pay extra for this?
Let's say money's not
drink.
Money. You know what I mean. Spared no expense. John Hammond said.
In the past, I've gotten a fish filet of fish with a nice cup of orange juice.
You fucking idiot.
So can I give a little backstory and history?
I do want to hear
why.
Go ahead. Let's do
how this came to be.
Okay, so this is how it came to be. First off, I was born on June 5th. And I popped out and I was like, give me some OJ. No, as a kid, I really loved OJ. You can ask. Steven probably knows that. My brothers know that. Like, I was obsessed with orange juice. I liked the sweetness. Oh, that's very sweet, Ed. You put a little drawing on the box. I loved orange juice. I drank with everything. And I think it's because, like, for breakfast, I always ate these, like, chorizo, frijoles, taco, you know, and it's very rich and full of, like, of that, like, rich flavor. And the orange juice, the sweetness of it cuts through all that.
The
and so now when I
acidity.
have breakfast, it's like I have to, if I'm having like bacon or eggs or something like that, I have to order like 3 drinks, orange juice, water, and coffee sometimes, because I need the orange juice to cut through all the fattiness that I'm getting. And sometimes I get a little upset. I'm like, oh, this is like too much salt. And so the sweetness cuts through. Now that's when I was a little kid. My body organically did that. It realized how salty some of that food was. Delicious. And so that just carried on the rest of my life, where I'm like, I need something sweet to cut through the fat that I'm getting. Even if the fish doesn't have that much fat, it still has like that salty grease.
I was ready to hate you and have been hating you all week talking about this.
Yeah.
But there was something about you being like, I need 3 beverages, an orange juice, a water, and a coffee, that I was like, oh, I get it. Like not in terms of like a fish sandwich, but I was like, oh yeah, like a breakfast is doing a lot of things. And you know what else is, like, we grew up at a time where like 90s commercials were like, this is a part of a balanced breakfast.
Yeah.
And that just feels
big ass carbs and sugar, you know.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
Good way to start your day.
Yeah, sludging around. No, yeah, I mean, you got the coffee to lift you up with energy. You got the water to give you a nice cleanse hydration. And then you have the orange juice, just a little sweetness to cut through the fat.
Can I say, if I, go anywhere to like a diner or something for breakfast, like the pancakes, whole shebang, that's usually my trio, is orange juice, coffee, and water. So I kind of get what you're saying. Like the orange juice is kind of like the lead up to the breakfast, and then water is there to clean.
Well, that's actually funny. Mine's the opposite.
Right.
Water is like the initial, like I'm dehydrated and I need to rehydrate.
Right.
And then once I start eating a lot of bacon or like all that salt, I'm like, ooh, I gotta wash this out with something. The OJ. That's when the OJ.
See, that's so funny, because I would never do like orange juice or anything, because like if I'm at an IHOP or whatever, like the meal that I'm getting is like an eggs, a meat, bacon, steak, whatever, potatoes. The drink I want is like water to wash it down and coffee for my stimulant or whatever.
Yeah.
But they usually come out with like a little side of pancakes comes with it too. And it's like, I don't like sugar that much. So I'm like, it's too much sugar. I can't do this.
Yeah.
I can't do the pancakes. And
I never do the
orange
pancakes
juice
that much. Yeah. I can't do the syrup and the pancakes. 1000%.
Yeah. You gotta balance it. You know what I mean?
Totally. Yeah, it's all a balancing
The thing
act,
that fucks me up, and Luis, I'll kill you about this, is there's no world in which this week I ordered that. Imagine I ordered only 2 things at McDonald's, and I said, give me a filet of fish, and also hit me with that bottle of orange juice. I would have had the worst day of my life, and I probably would have booked a ticket immediately and been like, hey, Luis, let's talk in person, because are you okay? You know? Let's get some things figured out. This is sociopathic, okay? This is not a combo for me.
It's not one that instantly comes to mind. I didn't even realize they had fresh orange juice. No,
I don't think
honestly,
it's fresh.
Honestly, nothing about what you ate or orange juice in general.
Like simply orange or something.
Nothing is fresh at McDonald's. Okay, so quit. Yeah. You're giving it too much credit.
That fish was the freshest fucking fish I've ever had.
Hang on, Luis. I'm going to change my flight.
Freshly brewed, all right?
Freshly brewed, man. Freshly brewed. I ordered a McFlurry for Sarah. They whipped that shit.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, they did.
They didn't tell me the machine was broken. It was ready
That's
to
not
go.
good. That's not good.
I love it.
Because it was broken. It was just moldy, and they said fucking fix it anyway.
So I drink orange. I don't do it all the time. I've grown up a little bit. But I do, yeah. I mean, orange juice with this nice fatty thing for sure.
Yep.
That's who I am, baby. Subscribe if you want more kind of that content right here at Punch Drunk Nerd.
Chaotic content. We should pivot our entire model, to be honest, just to be like, here's some food combo that you never thought of.
We're gonna sample McDonald's for you.
We'd go fucking viral.
Well, you had that Belgian diet you brought in, wasn't it? The Belgian diet where you just eat. I think you brought it up, didn't you? Where it was like you eat just raw food and
the Balkan, the Balkan breakfast. Yeah. No, that was more of a trend. It was a pap. It was a vibe.
Yeah.
Didn't stick.
No, believe me, I ate no vegetables that week. It's fine. Hey,
Supersize 3. That was us 3 just now talking about McDonald's.
But there you go.
There you go. I tried it.
I'm more mad that Ed walked away favorably because, like, how many times have I imagine anything that I've ever suggested in our entire podcast or friendship, and then Ed being like, "Okay," you know what I mean? But then he was like, "Oh, fish fillet? I'd put some ketchup on it. It's pretty good."
And I did, and it was great with ketchup.
God bless. God bless. No, I tell you what, side note, we do have, my son will have friends over, and we'll have to feed them because they're over. And we're like, oh, here, we'll give you guys chicken nuggets. And my son hates sauces. He doesn't do sauces for anything. That's amazing. I think that's somehow my fault because I was like that as a kid as well. But we have these kids that come over and they go, do you have ketchup? Like, where's the ranch? And we're like,
absolutely.
Oh, fuck, we don't have that in our house. Like, we just don't have it.
You don't have ketchup just for yourself? Like when you have things?
We have a bottle of ketchup that we were like, well, Ed's coming over. Let's make sure we have ketchup. And that was like back in Texas, and it has somehow moved to Colorado with us. Okay.
Oh, I've definitely had to like go to Ralph's to pick up or go to the grocery store to pick up ketchup. Like
I gotta start thinking about that. People love sauces. When we order my son's kids' food at restaurants, they'll be like, do you want ketchup or ranch or mustard or honey mustard? And he'll look at them and be like, no.
They're like, oh, what?
I mean, that's a good thing. It is a good thing. It
adds calories.
It was just something that I grew up with. English food, very bland, but we love our ketchup. I don't
want to say it, but okay.
And I've definitely gotten Lily on that train. And even tonight, she was just like, can I have ketchup with this? I was like, yeah, I guess. It is but it is something I treasure. I don't care. I love ketchup.
Teach their own.
Yeah, I will. I made a meal and then got really sad because I realized I didn't have ketchup to eat it with.
Yeah,
and
that kind of makes me feel bad.
Yeah, like scrambled egg or any egg. Fries without
eggs with ketchup. I've definitely done that.
Yeah, of course I do. Yeah. I do it with other stuff too, but I do like eggs with ketchup.
Can I ask just one last final, and we're done. Do you guys do like the fries? I'm going to give fries as the example. Is it the ketchup sprayed all over the fries, or is it the corner of the bowl?
As a greedy kid, it used to be
puddle of ketchup.
It used to be like Pollock painting, but it was no. Now I do little puddles. Yeah.
We do puddles. You gotta puddle it up and dip it in there.
Let me dip it, and then you know what? Let me replenish that dip if I have to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But something about like the spray it down. You know what I mean?
That's too messy for your hands. Like it's not gonna work out.
Nothing about that is good. Yeah. I don't even like chili cheese fries. You know what I mean? Like unless I have a fork. I like the food, but I'm like I don't want to just like dig things out.
Interesting.
I need a
now
clean
I feel self-conscious
finger.
because I've definitely like how just like when there's chili cheese, chili cheese. I guess that's like with the chili kind of fucks things up. If it's cheese fries though, that cheese is different because the cheese,
it stretches. You know what I mean?
But
so
if
that's
it's chili,
fine.
I can see. Yeah.
I need a fork, and I'm not trying to dig in. You know.
You know what I fucking hate though? I hate a burrito that's wet. Like, don't be putting sauce on my burrito. I want to pick that motherfucker up and eat it with my hand. Like, if it gets wet, like the whole point of a burrito, an experience, is
it's kind of a mobile food.
But also like I'm thinking about the carbs of it all. Like I want a wrap. I want it in my mouth with a wrap. Like I don't want it mushy. I don't want it gushy. Okay,
it's just a different way to have it, baby.
I don't want it.
I will say, I know Texas has it, but Colorado loves a wet ass burrito. That's kind of how they serve them here.
And then at that point, why am I even having a burrito? You might as well just put like some splosh on there, and then we're eating the innards of a burrito.
At that point, give me 3 enchiladas. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I don't want.
Okay. At that point, it's an enchilada.
Exactly. You know what I mean? This is a fat enchilada. This is too much.
Do you like chimichangas?
Depends.
I'm not. Well, I'm asking Louis.
I don't remember if I've ever eaten those. So I'm going to be honest. Like I could lie right now, but I can't even lie through that.
Okay. Wow, we found out a lot tonight. This was great.
Let us know down in the comments below. Do you like the fish fillet? Do you like ketchup?
Do you like gravy on your burritos exclusively?
Gravy?
Or some places call it gravy or sauce, whatever.
He's talking about like the Mexican sauce, whatever it is.
Chili gravy or whatever.
He's not talking about like brown or white gravy.
Yeah, we don't put brown or white gravy on burritos. Okay?
No.
And you know what? We should have a whole burrito conversation because Texas to California burritos,
exactly.
Different.
Of course,
things.
you guys pick it up. I mean, I like a good pickup burrito too. It just depends on the setting. If I'm sitting down to Tex-Mex with my beans and my rice,
I'll tell you what.
Hang on. And then you get that gravy in the burrito. You can mix it all together. It's
okay, please stop calling it a gravy. It is not a gravy, and it needs to be out of your lexicon. Like
no,
you can't
no.
It's not that kind of gravy. There are many different varieties of gravy, Luis.
In Texas,
but you don't call that gravy.
Yes,
That's
you do. I promise you, I will go to a Tex-Mex restaurant down the street.
I saw Martin Scorsese content the other day. Like it just feels icky.
Well, I apologize. It feels icky, but that's how I read it on the menu.
I'm backing up Ed right now. I understand what he's talking about. I know exactly where he's talking about, where they reference it as gravy.
I can't do that. I can't subscribe to that. But I understand.
But that's a different mentality, and that's okay.
I mean, it comes from the Mexican culture, I will say.
I'll tell you this. Fair.
That is fair.
You got a mustache like that, you got to listen to you. For me, if it's a dry or wet burrito, depends on my location. Okay. Am I at the restaurant? I want a dry burrito. Okay. Cause I like to be clean. I don't want to be messy. Okay. Am I at home and I've had a couple beers and maybe some other libations?
Wow.
Let me get a wet ass burrito.
The opposite. The only time I can have a wet burrito is at a restaurant because I have a whole table. I have forks and knives.
We have tables. We have like little TV stands. We have like little TV.
But that's I need like a surgical, like we're all here. Pop, 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 pop.
No, see, for me, I'm a big boy. Okay. And I don't like people to be like, damn, he's really, yeah. I've had a couple people be like, that's a lot of food. And it's really scarred me. Okay. And I can't be like,
move past that. You're allowed to eat what you want at a restaurant.
If you're like every now and then having a big meal at a Mexican restaurant, sure. But I just had too many of them. You know what I mean? So for me, location matters. It's all about location. Wow, we got kind of a serious there for a second. My bad.
We did. That was good. Okay.
On burritos. Guys, that was our feature discussion. Oh, sorry, Luis, go ahead. Take over. You guys want to get... Hey, this is what we're into, okay?
Okay. Yeah, what are we into?
Let's just talk about it. It's a long fucking episode. We'll just wrap this up, okay? Because I have no idea what you guys are into, by the way.
I don't know about you, Miguel, but I this past weekend watched a Minecraft movie. So I would love to talk about that. I don't know if you've seen it. I know Forrest was trying to see it. So what's up?
Well, I'll tell you this right now. We took our whole family, me, my wife, my son. We went and we saw the Minecraft movie. And this is what we've been gearing up to. You know, at the last of the episode, guys, go ahead and log off. This will just be me talking about Minecraft for the next 45 minutes. Okay.
Oh, no, but I saw the movie, so you better be prepared for me to talk about this.
Yeah,
movie.
but for like, Ed, go ahead. We'll see you later, man.
All right.
Guys, I saw this movie in theaters, and I have so many thoughts. Okay. The general consensus, what I want to get away is that I came into this movie going, this is not for me. This is for my son. My wife doesn't play Minecraft. I don't play Minecraft. He wants to go see it. We'll go as a family and we'll just kind of enjoy the family experience. Here's what shook us to our core right away. Okay. The movie hadn't even started. The trailers were going. And then it was like a fully packed theater of like teenagers to like early 20 somethings. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And they were rowdy as fuck. Okay. Before
it's
the
movie
movie
the Gentle Minions
started.
Again.
Exactly. But what I thought was happening was there was a bunch of rowdy teenagers on a Friday night, opening night of a movie, and they were here to just be goofy with their friends. And I was like, oh no, like I don't mind it because I'm like, I get it. We've all been there. But my son wanted to see the movie, and I was like, how am I going to explain if this is his like first experience with this? Like, how am I going to explain like they're being rowdy, but that doesn't mean we need to be. It also doesn't mean it needs to ruin the movie. Like, let's try to get through this. So I was a little nervous, but then what I've quickly realized, and I texted you guys at the beginning of the movie, is these kids and teenagers, whatever, they were here to fucking enjoy the shit out of this movie.
They all yearned for the mines.
They, Flint and Steel.
Flint and Steel.
Kristen and I had no idea, like, Minecraft. We don't know it at all. So we have no idea, like, what the like hot points are. But literally every single scene, there was at least 2 or 3 applause breaks where, like, the whole audience would erupt in cheers. Now, if you've been on social media for a week or two, you've seen it, like all the clips where they're like throwing the popcorn, they're throwing the drinks, they're body slamming employees. Like, that did not happen at our theater. It was simply just kind of this like euphoria of people just enjoying the movie for what it was. And there was a point where it was so fun that the boy, my son, even clapped at a couple points that they were clapping at. And it was like, oh my God, I was nervous about it, but he got to a point where he was so comfortable that everyone was cheering that he cheered himself.
He's going to remember that movie
and
for a long time because of that theater experience.
I walked away from it going, thank God that everyone was just kind of chill and having a good time.
I'm glad. I was
the audience. Yeah, I was too, especially at the beginning. The audience was receptive, and there was a couple of moments where my son, he's young, he's only 6 years old. He got a little scared, like the big action moment at the end of the movie was a little dark and scary for him. But in general, like, it was a really fun time. I thought it was so funny because he called Jack Black Steve, and he called Jason Momoa the guy in pink. He was like, well, the guy dressed in pink. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I thought that was so funny. It's like, yeah, let's like belittle Jason Momoa a little bit. Fine. Okay. But the thing that also surprised me, so obviously we went for my son, have a good time, it's a kid's movie, whatever, he can have fun. But Kristen and I both were like cracking up throughout this entire movie. And I've said it like 3 or 4 times since then. I was like, hey, bud, do you want to go see the Minecraft movie again? And he's like, no. And I'm like, are you sure? Because I would love to. Okay. I had a great time seeing this movie. It's one of those rare instances where you have low expectations.
Yeah.
And it ends up coming out a lot better than you think.
People at work were also texting like Minecraft movie, the best video game movie of all time.
Whoa.
Just like there are people throwing. I mean, it's like a meme response movie. Like, I think the thing is like, so this is a theater experience that I wish I got to go to. You know, I've been to opening night of Endgame. I've been to all of these other opening nights, Spider-Man, but like this one, I feel bad that I didn't get to go and experience with that kind of crowd. Like this Rocky Horror Picture-esque crowd that's just like talking back and responding.
Yes.
But you were talking about it so much, and then I heard the internet talking about it, and then my coworkers were talking about it, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to see if I can find a way to get this movie privately. And so I was able to experience it in my own way. And I was also equally surprised. I feel like this movie it knows what it is, and it basically leans into it. Like, you have movies that try to appeal general audiences, and so they do these like plot points or emotional beats or character traits to be like, well, everybody in America likes this, right? And they'll make it, but it has no soul. And this one, as disjointed as it is, it knows what it's doing, and it's comedic about it.
Yes.
And I think plot-wise, it's like very paper thin, but honestly, that's not even the point of this movie at all.
No,
like, it is stitched together. It's stitched together with funny moments, and it knows like, hey, here's a plot point we're going to get by, and that's done. Now we can move on to this funny part, you know? Yeah. And
sorry, no, go ahead.
No, I think that's it. I think I'm done.
I just think that Jared Hess, the guy that directed Napoleon Dynamite, he did this one.
And Nacho Libre. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Nacho Libre, which is another big one. I said this in text, but like his vibe really comes across in this movie.
It does.
And what's weird is those first couple of movies are very like indie, low budget, smaller films. And Minecraft is like, you would imagine this big budget, big IP. And he finds a way to like give that like Jared Hess isms, on a small scale when he needs to, and then on a big scale also.
You notice it right away when we see Steve obviously in the real world before he goes into the overworld in Minecraft.
Yep.
And even just where he is before he enters the overworld, like in his work office.
Super Napoleon Dynamite.
It sets that tone. You're like, oh, this is the movie we're watching right now.
Yes.
Yes.
I watched a great clip with him this week where he was like, I didn't want to just make a movie where the main characters get sucked into the video game. He was like, I wanted this world to be real, and I wanted it to be something that was like they could walk into, and it still has like this organic life to it. Yeah. And I was like, okay, like, who gave a shit about Minecraft to make this movie? You know what I mean? It really just kind of writes itself. You could just throw it up on the screen and people would go to it. But it felt like he was like, no, let me like put thought into this. Like, let me find what works in the real world, in the Minecraft world. And how do we make this like this thing that really comes together?
I think there are two ways to go about this movie. One is the Lego movie, which is all about building and crafting and like that movie has an emotional arc. It has catharsis. It has it's like a well done movie. Yeah. This is just like a romp and a fun time, where it's like, we know this isn't serious. You know what I mean? We're making the Kool-Aid movie. If I had to throw an example, like in the studio, they're like, oh, let's make a Kool-Aid movie. This is like the Kool-Aid movie where they're just like, people will come, let's get silly with it. We don't have to, we know what we're doing here. Well,
I think that's what's great about putting like a creative lead on a big budget studio movie is like, let's blend these two worlds. Like, let's give the studio what they want because they're financing it, but then let's also be creative in the product that we're creating, crafting. You know what I mean? No, I just I had such a fun time with this. It was a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be.
Because it had really low expectations, and even on the Rotten Tomatoes, it's like the reviewers are like 47, audience reaction 87.
Hell yeah. I mean, and if you like Jack Black, you're gonna love this movie. If you hate Jack Black, I think you're gonna have some problems.
Because of his performance, I was like, I have to take Sarah to see this. Hopefully I can see it in the theaters, but because of his performance, I was like, this is gonna be a romp for her and us, because
There's one thing that I watched this last weekend. It wasn't a movie, but I did watch the new Jack Black SNL episode.
Yes, baby.
And
nice segue.
That was a nice little reminder, but man, it was just so good. And the vibe with the whole cast and everything was electric. The last two episodes have been a little lackluster, but man, Jack Black came on and kind of just did his thing and kind of killed it. And it was,
he takes up space in the best way possible.
He does. And like all of the sketches that they did were kind of short, but like to the point, very funny. I got a good guffaw at least in every one of them. But it was definitely, it was like, you can feel when they are feeling it, and yeah, it was just like a good all around vibe. So I would recommend it. I know you guys don't watch it religiously, but it was a good one. It had some good.
No, I think it's funny that you were like, well, the last two episodes were this. I was like, Luis, name the last two episodes. Name one sketch from the last two episodes. You know what I mean?
I can't.
Exactly. But I thought what was crazy is Jack Black was like, he's the fourth time hosting. Okay, was this episode. But he was like, the last time I was here was 20 years ago.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
It was like for Shallow Hal or something like that. It was something around that time. And it was like, oh my fucking, not even the holiday. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like he was like, it's been 20 years since I hosted and this is my fourth time hosting, which is like, that ratio is way off. But that, to echo what Ed's saying, that was a really fun episode. Like Jack Black just really fit in and they leaned into his strengths and he just kind of also vibed with what they were doing.
Yeah.
Guys, the Minecraft movie, it was a ton of fun. What I would suggest, if you're a parent and you want to see this movie with your kid, as long as my son has played the game Minecraft, but it's really all about his friends are talking about Minecraft. So he's just kind of, it's like at that age right now where his friends liked it. So he liked it,
Yeah.
And then we went and saw the movie and it was a really fun time and it was a lot more fun than I expected it to be as a parent. So go see it, support it. You know what I mean? Support local.
It's done very well.
It's done very well at the box office.
In fact, this movie is saving Warner Brothers' ass right now. They're like, we're doomed. We're gonna have to let go of everybody. And then this happened. They're like, we're back, baby. You know. And so
Zaslav was like, a fucking hit.
It was my idea.
He was like, I was about to shelve this one. No,
I think you go in it though, like we did. Very low expectations. You know what I mean? I think be critical of what we're saying. You know, be skeptical. Don't believe us. But
was it perfect? No, absolutely not. You know, and there's going to be if you've seen a million movies, you're going to be like, ugh, this again. I'm sure, but it was just something about the earnestness of them having fun. Can I ask you this?
It knows what it's doing. Like it's very clearly like we're tongue in cheek big situation. You know. What a podcast, you guys. I'm glad that I was able to pop in here in the last second. Join for most of the podcast, I believe.
Yeah, baby.
Thank you.
Come back.
But I'm not hosting this episode. You are, so you can.
Guys, what a fucking episode. We had more to talk about, but I just feel like let's don't overstay our welcome. You know what I mean? Let's take a note from that fucking Minecraft movie. Let's wrap it up in 90 minutes. Okay?
Ooh, yeah.
I cooked. All right. So you guys, thank you so much for listening. Check us out on socials. Like and subscribe. Leave a review on our podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple. You guys know the gist. Okay. We're keeping it with the Black Shirt crew. I'm your host tonight, Miguel Sanchez. With me is
Louis G. Money.
Hey, let's do our best Ed accent real quick. And then joining us is
Ed Ball.
And later, Gators.
Later, Gators.